Good morning, class 8th. This is your second session of English, you can say, right? Now, here we are going to learn a story of how the camel got his hump. Okay, what is the name of the story? How did the camel get the hump? You see an hump at the back of the camel, right? Now, how did the camel get it? Because when the world started, at the beginning of the world, okay, there was no hump on camel. Now, how did the camel got this hump? We'll see it. Okay. And the book from which we are learning this chapter, the name of the book is It So Happened. It is a supplementary reader for you. Okay. It is a supplementary reader and the name of the book is It So Happened, from which we are going to learn the first chapter, that is how the camel got his hump. Now, before starting the chapter, let's have a small introduction about it. Each and every chapter, whichever you read, it has been written by something, or you can say every chapter has a writer or the author. Okay, the story how the camel got his hump is a humorous fictional story by Rudyard Kipling. Okay, humorous means it is like jolly, you can say, where you would love to listen the story. Okay, and this story has been written by Rudyard Kipling. The story began in the past. Now, this story, as I had told you in the starting, that when the world started, at the beginning of the world, the camel did not have any hump. Okay, so it is here it is telling that the story began in the past when our world had just formed. In those days, animal had just started to work for humans. Fine. Means in this story has been started when the camel did not have any hump and the animals had started working for the humans. This story is of that time. Okay. Now let's have a look on the conversation of the animals. In this story, we would see a horse, an ox, a dog, a camel, a jinn. Okay, all these characters we would see in this story. But before that, let's have a look on the conversation between these animals. Now, as the animals had to work for the human beings, in the beginning when the world was new and the animals were just beginning to work for man. And who were they? The camel, the ox, the horse, the dog. These all animals used to work for the man. Okay. Now from this, the camel used to live in the howling desert. Okay, and in desert there is only sand, and because of this because the camel used to live in the howling desert. Howling desert means hot desert. Okay, it did not know how to work, and it did not want to work also, because there was no work in the desert, so it did not want to work also, and it became very lazy, you can say. He ate sticks and thorns and prickles, and when anybody spoke to him, he only said, and no more. What would it say? And no more he used to talk. Okay. Now, presently, as I told you, the camel did not want it to work. On Monday, the horse came to the camel and said, what did it say? "O camel, come out and trot like the rest of us." What is trot? Trot means to, you can say, the way the horse walk. It is called trotting. Okay. So what did the horse say? The horse went to the camel and said that, "Come out to work." Then the camel did not listen. So the horse went away. Then the next day the dog came. The dog said the same thing, that, "Come and fetch the stick with me." The camel did not listen to it. It again said, and sat quietly. The next day the ox went and said, "Come and work with me as I plow the field." Okay. But the camel again said, and kept on eating its prickles and thorns. Okay. Now the three of the animals, they went to the camel and said that, "We have worked hard of hours. Okay, we have worked hard, and now it is the camel's work to do something. If the camel does not work, the dog, the horse and the ox had to share the work of the camel, and they were not ready for it. But for this also, the camel said the same reply, Okay. Now let's see further what happened. Now, as I told you that the animals were working for the men, they were working for men all the days, like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, same. Okay. On Monday, the horse went to the camel and said that, "Camel, please come and trot with me as the other animals do." For this, the camel replied, Okay. The horse annoyed and went away. Now it was turn of the dog. The dog came with the stick, and he was given the work to find the sticks and carry them. So what did the horse do? What did the dog do? The dog carried a stick in his mouth and went to the camel and said that, "Please come with me and carry the sticks as I do." In reply to this, the camel only said, and sat quietly. Now the dog also went away. Now the ox came with the yoke. What is a yoke? You must have seen the two oxes which have been tied to a wooden cross piece, okay, to pull the plow or the cart. It is called a yoke. Okay, so the ox went with the yoke in its neck and suggested the camel that, "Come and let's plow the field." And as per the habit, the camel again replied, and sat quietly. With this, the three animals were very annoyed. Why were they annoyed? Because they had to do their work also, and they had to do the camel's work also. Because the camel was not ready to work. And why was the camel not ready to work? Because he was proud of his beauty. It said that, "How beautiful I am, how good looking I am, and I am not here to work." Okay, this thing had made the camel lazy. Okay, and because of living in the desert also, the camel had become very lazy. So that's why the camel did not even start his work while living with the men, though it was now all in around 3 days. From last 3 days, the camel was not been working at all. And seeing this, the three animals got very annoyed. And further, what did they do? Now the three animals were very annoyed with this, right? The camel also, the horse went to the camel to tell him, the ox went to the camel, the dog went to the camel. At last, what they decided? They decided that, "Let us go to the men to talk about this." Okay, what did they decide? They said, let us go to the men to talk about this. Okay, so the three of them went to the man. Man means the one who was their owner. Okay, they went to the owner. All the three, horse, dog and ox, after the end of the day, they went to the men and told about the incidents. They told the men about everything, that how did from last 3 days they are going to the camel to tell him to work. Okay, the men said, saying will not work. When the man came to know that the camel has only said not to work, then the man said that this is not going to work. If the camel has replied so, then this is not going to work. But since the camel had not come, his share of work was to be completed. So the man said, now as the camel has not come, it is your duty to complete his work, because there should be no loss of work. For this, the animals said, the horse, the cow and the dog said, this is not fair. We have completed our work for the whole day. Now why should we do camel's work also? Okay, and after listening to men's word, when the man said these words, the three animals got very angry, and what they decided? What they decided? They decided that let's go to a jinn. Okay, so now all three animals were angry with the camel. You know why were they angry with the camel? Okay, and what step did they take? When the camel did not listen to them and the men did also not help them, the animals decided to go to the panchayat of a jinn. Okay, they brought a panchayat under the jinn. Jinn tried to convince the camel for work. Now what did the animals do? They went to the jinn. Okay, because they saw that the man had only told them, I am very sorry for you, but the hump in the desert can't work. Okay, so we have to complete his work. Listening to this, the three angry animals, they went for the panchayat. Okay, and they called a jinn. Now, jinn of all the desert, is it right for anyone to be idle? What did they ask? They said that, is it right for anyone to be idle? Just tell me that. Can anybody sit idle in this world? The jinn said, certainly not. If you are being brought in this world, it is your duty to work. Well, there is a thing in the middle of your desert with a long neck and long legs. The horse said to the jinn that if this is so, there is a thing in the middle of the desert. Okay? It has a long neck and long legs, and he hasn't done a stroke of work since Monday morning. And that long thing has not done any work since Monday morning. Okay, so jinn says, is that so? That's my camel. What does he say about it? When the horse, the ox and the dog said about it, the jinn asked, what is the camel telling? It says, I won't plow, I won't trot. Then the jinn said, very good, I will hump him if you will kindly wait a minute. Now, listening to this, the jinn said that, please give me a minute and I'll see what is to be done. Everything was explained to the jinn. Okay? After this, the jinn convinced the camel for work. right? After listening to the horse, the ox, and the dog, the jinn went to the camel and convinced him, "Why didn't you work since Monday?" But as we know that the camel had no manners, he only knew one reply. And what was his reply? Same. No reply. Okay? The camel replied the same way as it replied the dog, the horse, and the ox. The jinn tried once more, that now it is Thursday, you have not worked till Monday or from Monday. You will have to work for the extra 3 days. But the same reply was given by the camel. Okay? Listening to this, the jinn said that if I was you, I would have done all my work and never would have given such reply. Okay, but no sooner had he said it than he saw his back. He was so proud of puffing up and into a great hump. Now what happened? The jinn explained him, told him everything, convinced him in the way he wanted. But the camel was proud of his back. And as it once more said, its back started puffing up and there was a very big hump. Okay? Now, the jinn said, "Do you see that? That's your very own hump that you have brought upon your very own self by not working." What was that hump? That hump was brought up by the camel itself. The jinn said that the hump on your back is brought up by yourself. The one which you have not worked. This is that. Today is Thursday and you have not done any work from Monday. Okay, so when the work began, now you are going to work. Means your hump is now there. It's not going to go away. So now your duty is only to work. So the camel said, "How can I work with this hump on my back?" Okay, the camel said, "How can I work with this hump on my back?" So, but till this also, the camel did not believe that he has a hump on his back. The camel was looking in his image in the river. It went into the river when the jinn said that there is a hump on your back. It said that it didn't believe. So what did it do? It went to the river to have a look. The jinn came and made a hump on his neck. Jinn now said, as you always say, now you always have to live with this on your back. Means the hump on your back. Okay, now the camel got a good lesson. Now the camel got a good lesson. It had to work. Now it came into senses. But again its question was to the jinn, how would I work with this hump on the back? So the jinn said that the hump on your back has a purpose. You work for 3 extra days. This hump will provide you with food for 3 days. Come out of the desert and start your work. What did the jinn say? That the hump on your back will help you for extra work, for working for extra days. Means if you don't eat food or drink water for 2-3 days, this hump will provide you food from that. Okay? So, this is how the camel got the hump. Now after that, the camel went to work. The camel started working. Camel came out of the desert and started working. He now, he, we now say hump instead of so that camel won't feel bad. Okay? Now we call that puffed thing on the camel's back as a hump. Okay? We don't call it We don't call this so that the camel's feelings are not being hurt. Okay? But the camel still has not learned how to behave, and his 3 days extra work is still pending. Means the camel is still the same. It does today also. Its laziness is today also. And still the work of his is still pending. Okay? Means here it is said that now the camel went to work with the 3. 3 means the horse, the ox and the dog. And from that day to this, the camel always wears a hump on his back. But he never yet caught up with the 3 days that he missed at the beginning of the world. And he has never yet learned how to behave. So what is the moral of the story? The moral of the story is, with the humorous tale, the author has tried to tell us that people do not like a person who do not do work. So we should work hard. It means people like them, those who work hard, those who are loyal, okay, and those who are sincere towards their work. Lazy people are not liked by anyone. Okay, so this is the moral of the story. Fine. This was the explanation of the chapter. Okay, how the camel got its hump. Fine. Now let us discuss some facts about the camel. Okay, I'll tell you some facts about the camel. Do you know that there are 2 types of camels? 2 types. You must have seen only one here, but there are 2 types of camel. First is the one-humped camel. One-humped means the one which we see in India. They have only one hump. Okay. Such camels are called dromedary. Okay. Such camels are called dromedary. And other is two-humped camel. Other is two-humped camel. Two-humped camels are called Bactrian camels. Two-humped camels are called Bactrian camels. Okay. Now these dromedary camels, they are also called Arabian camels, and they are mostly found in North Africa and Middle East. Okay. And the two-humped camel means, you can say, the Bactrian camels, they are found in Central Asia. Okay. No matter wherever they are found, but the thing is, camels are found in the desert. Most of the camels, they are found in desert. Okay. Next, now these camels have 3 sets of eyelids. Eyelids means the one which we have on our eyes. We close and open when we sleep and when we get awake. Camels have 3 sets of eyelids and 2 rows of eyelashes. Eyelashes means the hair which you have on your eye. Okay, eyelashes to keep sand out of their eyes. Why do they have 3 sets of eyelids and 2 rows of eyelashes? So that while walking in the sand, if there is a sandstorm or if there is wind, okay, too much of breeze and that, and if the sand flows, so when it goes into the ice, it saves them. Okay, the 3 sets of eyelids and 2 rows of eyelashes, sorry, save them, save their eyes from the sand to getting into it. Okay, camels have lips which but their lips are very thick, okay, which let them forage for thorny, you know now what do camels eat? Camels, they live in the desert. Camels live in the desert, okay, and living in the desert, their food is also thorny plants. Okay, now they have the thick leaves, and with the help of that thick leaves, they can eat the with the help of that thick lips, they can eat the thorny plants. Okay, now what is a forage? Forage means searching widely for food. Okay, searching widely for food. Camels can completely shut their nostrils during sandstorm. While walking in the sand, if there is a sandstorm, these camels can shut their nostrils completely so that the sand cannot go in their nose. Thanks to thick pads of skin on their chest and knees, camels can comfortably sit in very hot sand. Their skin, the skin of the camel is very thick, okay, and because of this thick skin, they are able to sit on the hot sand also. In the desert, you know, there is everywhere hot sand. Okay, for us it is not easy to stand there, but for camel, because they have thick pads on their skin, it is easy for them to sit on this hot sand comfortably. Fine. Next, their humps let them store up to 80 pounds of fat, which they can live off for years and even months. Okay, you know the camels have the hump, and the use of that hump is that in that they can store 80 pounds of fat. Okay, 80 pounds of fat, and with the help of that fat they can live very for many years, many months also, and many weeks also, you can say. Okay, they can live for weeks and even for months. Now storing 80 pounds of food, 80 pounds means it is how many kgs? 80 pounds means 36 kgs. Okay. When camel finally does find water, now in a desert it is not possible for the camel to find water, right? But if the camel finds water, it can drink up to 40 gallons of water at one time. Okay, at one time the camel can drink 40 gallons of water. Okay, next, camels are very strong and carry up to 900 pounds for 25 miles a day. Okay, they are so strong that they can carry 410 kgs of, you can say, burden on their back and walk for 25 miles a day. Camels can travel up to 40 miles per hour. They can travel for 40 miles per hour. Okay, as same as the racehorse. And lastly, there are over 160 words for a camel in Arabic alone. In the Arabic language, you can say. In the Arabic language, there are 160 words for a camel. How many words? 160. Okay, so these were some of the facts about the camel. I know you must have learned something new from this. Now, for the exercise, as I told you, you would get a worksheet for this. Fine. And moreover, let's move to the word meanings. Word meanings. Our first word is humorous. 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 Humorous means causing laughter and amusement, or you can say comic. Causing laughter and amusement. It is humorous. Next is saddle. 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 Saddle means a seat fastened on the back of the horse or animal for riding. What is saddle? Saddle means a seat fastened on the back of a horse or other animal for riding. Next is compensate. Compensate means, what is compensate? Compensate means to give something, typically like money, in recognition of loss, suffering or injury occurred. Okay. Next is convince. Convince. Convince means cause to believe firmly in the truth of something. Cause to believe firmly in the truth of something. Next is consoled. Next is consoled. 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 Consoled means comfort at a time of grief or disappointment. Consoled means comfort at the time of grief or disappointment. Next is incident. Incidence. Incidents. Incidents means the occurrence, rate or frequency of a disease, crime or other undesirable thing. Next is stress. Stress. Stress means pressure or tension exerted on a material object. Stress means pressure or tension exerted on a material object. Next is annoyed. Annoyed. Annoyed means slightly angry, or you can say irritated. Annoyed means slightly angry or irritated. The last word is yoke. Yoke. Yoke means a wooden crosspiece that is fastened over the neck of two animals and attached to the plow or cart that they are to pull. What is a yoke? In the yoke means, you must have seen in a plow where the two animals are attached, okay, to pull the plow or to pull the cart. Okay, so the wooden crosspiece which is there on the neck of the ox or the bullock, it is the yoke. Okay, so these were the word meanings. I'll read the words for you. Humorous, saddle, compensate, convince, consoled, incidents, stress, annoyed and yoke. So these are the word meanings. I hope you have understood the chapter. Soon you will get a worksheet for this. You have to answer the questions. So please pay attention on the lesson which are being explained from now, because the exercises are to be done by yourself. So learn well. Take care. Hope to meet soon. Bye.